what's up? Check out this blunt and honest review from the Jock and Nerd Podcast. That's us. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the jock.
He's the nerd.
And he's the rug boy.
What's up, guys?
Jock and Nerd. Okay, fam. What am I saying?
Okay, chat.
Okay, chat. Here's this week's movie review. We will be reviewing Supergirl. Here's your spoilers.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Grok, is this true? What's up, chat? This is how people talk now. It's very strange. Anyways, this Supergirl, based on the Supergirl comic book character published by DC Comics, first appearance, Action Comics 252, back in 1959, created by Otto Binder, writer and artist Al Plastino. But this movie is based on a more recent story run called Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
From 2022.
Very recent. Yes.
Yeah, very recent.
Very recent. This is an 8-issue comic book miniseries written by Tom King with art by Bilquis Evely. Beautiful art. So, yeah, the character's been around since 59. This story they're trying to tell just came out 4 years ago. This one directed by Craig Gillespie, written by Anna Noguera. Now, Craig Gillespie has directed I, Tonya, Cruella, and that movie Dumb Money. And Anna Noguera, this is her first feature film. She has also been tapped to write the Wonder Woman movie for James Gunn.
Interesting choice.
Yes. Let's keep all of that in mind. She was an actress who turned into a writer. And this is her first movie. This is the second film in James Gunn's reset DC universe after Supergirl from last year. It is the second live action Supergirl movie. The first one came out in 1984. If you want to know about that one, just listen to our What the Fuck Happened to Supergirl from episode 487 in the Jock and Nerd Podcast feed. Lots of fun. This is the fifth live action person playing Supergirl and the third one to be in a movie. So got some TV ones. On Rotten Tomatoes, Supergirl holding a 56% tomato meter critic rating. Audience giving it a 77. Metacritic has it at a 49. Letterboxd 3.1.
Very, very mediocre.
So that Rotten Tomatoes score is almost dead similar to Man of Steel. It is lower than last year's Superman that James Gunn did. Yes, Letterboxd is mediocre. The budget of this movie, anywhere from $170 to $186 million, according to Wikipedia. Here's the weekend box office. What happened? How did it go? Well, Toy Story 5, hanging on to number one. Oh, shit. In week 2, just drops about 56%. Not bad. Makes another $70 million. It is now a globally total $585 million.
Not bad.
Off that $250 million budget. It's halfway to $1 billion in week 2. Not bad.
Toy Story's Rug Boy's pick, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Not
Keep
bad
forgetting.
at all. Not at 585 in the second week.
Supergirl is also my pick.
Supergirl is also his pick, and Supergirl manages to open at number 2, but only making $38 million domestically. Oh shit! Globally, it's made $68 million.
Ouch!
Yikes!
On this budget, it is not even made $100 million. So this is definitely a rough start. It has a B- cinema score, which is lower than The Flash and the Marvels. Opening, this is in the range of Joker Folie à Deux, opens in a similar range. This movie does not hit number 1 in a single overseas market in opening. So if you're comping, there's no comps. If you're comping the recent slate of DC movies, it does open higher than Blue Beetle, Aquaman 2, Shazam 2, and Birds of Prey. Now we can look at all these movies. There's one thing that's clearly in common with these movies that are opening this low. We'll talk about that. Obsession, holding on to number 3 in week 7. It's now made $344 million. Jackass 7, Best and Last, opening at number 4 with $8 million. I don't even, anybody interested in seeing that Jackass movie?
No.
Okay.
Heard it was fun, though.
I heard it was fun. I heard it was like a nice goodbye. Those fucking crazy people. Disclosure Day opening at number 5 in its third week. It has only made $193 on its $115 million budget. Number 6, Backrooms, sitting at 330 million in week 5. Scary Movie week 4 still hanging on number 7, 208 million. Masters of the Universe week 4 opens at number 8. It's at 109.3 million. Still not a lot. Some Fathom event called Bleach, 1,000-Year Bloody War, The Calamity.
It's an anime.
Is at number 9 with 3 million. And Mando and Grogu, week 5, hanging on to number 10. They have made 325 million globally. On
I got that movie.
You have that movie. Michael is out of the top 10, but that thing finished as the highest biopic ever, essentially. Yeah. This movie, Supergirl, stars Millie Alcock, who we got a little glimpse of in Superman. We've seen her play the young Rhaenyra Targaryen in House of the Dragon. She is our Kara Zor-El Supergirl. You have Eve Ridley as Ruth, Matthias Schoenaerts as the bad guy Krem of the Yellow Sun. Spoilers, David Cornsweet's in this Superman with some cameos. And then, of course, the Jason Momoa as Lobo. That's essentially your main cast you need to know. PG-13 movie, 1 hour, 47 minutes. Anthony, what happens in Supergirl?
Supergirl is about Superman's cousin, Kara Zor-El. She is a drunkard in space, looking to figure out where she fits in this in the universe. And she's minding her own business and comes across a little girl that gets her family murdered by this guy named Krem, and has to get involved because Krem also shoots her dog, and she needs to help this girl because they both have a mutual interest in finding Krem. And along the way, she finds herself and finds out what she's meant to do in this universe.
You know, the Krem rises to the top in a lot of ways. Can I get some creme for my coffee? Anyway,
I don't think he rises to the top at all.
This creme, I don't know. Okay, Anthony. History with Supergirl and all, and then what'd you think of the movie?
History with Supergirl? I mean, very little, other than maybe reading a couple comics with her in it. I don't think I've ever read a solo Supergirl comics.
Okay.
So not a ton of history. I did watch the show and did see the lead actress of the show on The Fappening.
You did watch the Melissa Benoist. Yes, The Fappening was fantastic. Remember The Fappening?
Yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days.
So yeah, that's my history with Supergirl. And what are we talking about? What I thought of the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. What did I think of the movie? Listen, I liked the movie. I'll say that. I liked it. I thought it was solid. I'm going to have two disparaging thoughts. I liked the movie. I thought it was solid. I thought Millie Alcock was fine. I enjoyed some of the action. I enjoyed the villain. I thought it was a perfectly decent superhero movie. That said, this is absolutely, now that I've thought about it, and we probably could have said this before. We probably said this before.
Yeah.
For James Gunn to release this as his second film in the DCU, it was absolutely a mistake.
Yeah.
Absolutely a mistake. This is the wrong movie to go out and release as your second film. I always thought that the movies and the TV shows he was doing were kind of odd anyways.
Yeah.
And the fact that this one was the second one, huge mistake. There's not an audience for this. It's a safe movie. It doesn't really do anything different. And out of the gate, I think you got to hit home runs with this. And we're not in this movie would have been perfectly fine if it was a Marvel movie released in, let's go 2010 to 2016, 2018 even.
Yeah.
Been perfectly fine.
The Marvels.
But we're at least 8 years past that now. And we're just in a different era of superhero movies. And if you're just going to play it and do it a safe superhero movie, and by safe, I mean in terms of what the story was.
Yeah.
This is not a safe decision to do Supergirl,
right,
but it's a safe decision to make the story the way it was.
Yeah.
You got to recognize that you're trying to relaunch a universe that's already failed, and you're trying to do this while Marvel has also had its peak and been going down. So I think it's just a severe miscalculation that they decided to release this movie. I personally liked it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it a decent score.
Yeah.
But I mean, by the box office, by the reaction, by probably what you guys are going to say.
Yeah.
you are not creating momentum by doing a movie like this at this time.
Yeah.
When you're trying to relaunch your entire universe. So, yeah, I think it was a huge mistake.
Okay,
This
this
might
might
lose a lot of money too on this.
Oh, I just saw an article. They may lose like $100 million
So,
on this. Rugs, this might surprise everyone. Rugs, theater experience, opening thoughts, history with the
My
character.
theater experience is perfectly fine.
Oh, shit.
There was like nobody in the theater.
Oh, shit.
There was like maybe 20 people in the theater.
Yeah, that tracks.
And everybody was an adult. There was no like young kids.
I just got to say real quick while we're on the theater thing. Sorry, Ruggs. I knew something was, we all knew this was going to be bad, but I knew something was up because Alamo's a diehard crowd and the Thursday night showing, usually for that 6 or 7 o'clock showing, is
Full.
packed.
Yeah.
Mine was not even half full.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it deserves to be said. Like, you know, nobody's showing up for this movie.
Nope.
Most of the people that were in the theater were guys.
Mm.
And so just saying,
Yeah.
I thought the movie wasn't terrible. I thought it was fine. But I don't understand what they're trying to do. It reminded me a lot of like other DC movies that sucked.
Yeah.
And like for example, like, you know, at the end of The Flash where they're just fighting in a fucking desert.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, like nothing. And this is the end is the same thing. It's like this
Yep.
very desert.
Yep.
And people were trying to say this movie was like Furiosa or something. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, because there's dust.
You're right.
Like, why is it?
because it's
like,
brown. Because the movie's brown.
It had interesting stuff. It had like the aliens and the costumes and stuff, but it was also shot so dark that it took away from all of that.
Yeah.
So you have this like, oh, we're going to create cool alien planets and do alien stuff. But then you like shroud it in like darkness and like whatever clouds of dust and shit. And so you don't really get to enjoy the majesty. It's not like you're looking at Asgard and like fucking Thor or something
Right.
like where you're like, oh shit. Or you even in He-Man,
Yeah.
you get to see Eternia. It was still more cool and memorable than
It
what
was
we saw here.
colorful. Yeah.
So they weren't visually making anything great. Like the ship designs and stuff were all kind of like every ship looked the same.
Yep.
I couldn't tell the difference between the bad guy ship or the good guy ship.
Yeah.
So like overall, everything was just kind of all right. The story, the ideas were there, but they weren't fleshed out enough and not quite. I don't know. Like, I understand that they made this about this Tom King run.
Yeah.
And I don't like Tom King, first of all. Second of all,
yeah, he's pretty wordy.
he completely like did his own thing with this reinvention of Supergirl.
Yes.
That kind of changes things. And then on top of that, they changed the origin and the origins. So she's born
Yes.
in Argo instead
Yes.
of being born on Krypton and then
Yes.
having to transfer to Argo.
Yeah.
And then leaving Argo to come to Earth when she's a teenager and Superman's already grown up. So her cousin, you know, there's a lot of like fun things you can do.
Yeah.
They kind of like got rid of all that. And not only that, but the tragedy of her seeing Krypton, the planet.
Right.
Yeah. Then there's there's a lot of like stuff that happens that is incongruent with itself. So Supergirl can heal, no problem, from any kind of poison that she has when the yellow sun comes. But the dog, you can't move the dog because if you move the dog will die. But she had to move him in the first place to get him to the alien to get healed or whatever that.
Yeah. Couldn't she just take
like
him?
none of this stuff ever, like none of the thought processes of what happens makes any sense. Like you can't move the dog, but I just moved it here. So if you would have moved it straight to a planet with a yellow sun, you would have been fine.
You could, right. You could just moved it and it'd been fine. And I will tell you the dog thing about the book too.
And not only this, in Superman, Krypto is kicking everyone's ass and saving Superman because he's completely like he can't do anything, right? And this one, Krypto's out of the game. And, you know, and so it's funny that like in Superman's movie, Krypto comes to the rescue because Superman's inept. And he's supposedly been a superhero like this whole time.
Yeah, but that's a yellow sun also. That's a yellow sun, but he was still flying around and shit. I don't know.
I'm just saying that like they chose to take Krypto out of this movie.
Yeah.
Write him out so she could be center stage. So
he is
look
more
at what they're doing.
There's more Krypto in Superman. Yeah. Than in this.
They're making Superman a buffoon and having Krypto rescue.
Yeah.
And then they take Krypto out.
Well, here.
So Kara Zor-El can have all the spotlight.
No, here it's Lobo. They put a man in to save her like twice. I think.
Yeah, but that kind of muddies the message up a little bit. He didn't need to be in this movie at all.
No, he did
And
not.
it wasn't like the best Lobo. To me, it wasn't the best Lobo that I could imagine either.
Yeah.
So I feel like he got short shrifted. You know, Momoa could have had a cooler Lobo outing, and this wasn't it. I mean, he did Lobo-ish things, but like it was just kind of like just all right.
Yeah.
So like, I don't hate this movie. I don't think it's bad.
Yeah.
There's times where I was enjoying it, but then there were times where it grinded to a halt, and for no apparent reason, just to give her like some kind of some time to reflect on her past, basically, you know? And then I'm like, oh, she's out of commission for this whole 15, 20 minutes of the movie so she could like think about her past and then decide to be Supergirl. I'm like, okay, well, that's not really climactic. I don't think that there's a hero's journey there that we're seeing, but I don't know. It was okay. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Here's what happened to me. I had the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow trade paperback. I bought it like a year ago. Have not been able to read it. I started it several times. Tom King is a wordy motherfucker. I finally, the night before this past Wednesday, finished the book. It's not bad. There's some beautiful passages, but it's almost like it's like a Vertigo version of Supergirl. It's like kind of like reading a Neil Gaiman Sandman version of Supergirl. The art is beautiful and bright and colorful. So that is one thing they did not adapt in this movie. I'm sorry. Look, I like women. I believe women. I listen to women. I really wanted to like this movie. I was a little disappointed. This is just a mediocre, at best, to kind of sliding into it's not that good. There's really
Imran going the hardest on this
and
movie.
I'll tell you why. This movie is boring at times. So I watched it the first time. I was falling asleep. And I watched the whole thing and I was like, all right, maybe I was too high. Maybe I was tired. I don't know. I was like, let me give it a second chance. I pulled it up on the fucking site where you can watch the cam. I was like, let me run it back and watch it again. I shit you not. I fell asleep at the same fucking point of the movie.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, okay.
What
and
point
then
was that?
What point was it?
I'll tell you exactly where. The moment where she goes to the planet and that couple finds her and she's asking them and they drug her. And then she gets caught.
Oh, yeah.
From that on to the fucking final battle scene drags so fucking much. That's where I fell asleep. I don't know why. I was in there. I was following it. I thought the look of the movie is muddy and brown. The editing, I couldn't follow a lot of the action. It's hard to follow. The music drops are weird. They're trying
What
to be.
What was that last song that they put on?
Well, let's jump to the last song. Nobody likes it. It's like trying to be like James Gunn without any of the nuance. The last song, look, the final battle scene, she's kicking ass. There is an orchestral score. It's actually, there are parts of this movie that start to work for a moment and then disappear. So the orchestra scene is moving. She's kicking ass in the open, flat dirt where everything is now. And then they play, not the original, a cover of the Jimmy Eat World song, The Middle.
Yeah, it's
now. Thematically, if you know the lyrics, it does kind of make sense. It's all about giving yourself a second chance, believing in yourself, don't give up. But this cover is weird. Why didn't you just play the regular version? At least because it's
a man saying it.
It slows everything down. And I watched that whole third part 3 times. It does not work. I'm sorry. I love the weird music draw. I love as much as the next guy. It does not work. Here's the big picture. I read this book and I was like, wow, there's a lot going on in here. They chased Krem for a long time. I don't know how they're going to adapt this. And I think it was the wrong story to choose to adapt because this only works once you've established a Supergirl and you know about Supergirl. They keep doing it. They keep jumping to the thing that like reinvents the character without actually establishing the fucking character first.
Well, I think what they're doing to give this movie, to understand what this movie was doing or to try to defend what they're doing, I think they're going off the fact that, okay, you don't know who Supergirl is, but you know who Superman is.
Right.
So you're automatically going to assume Supergirl is going to be like Superman, and then she's completely not.
Right. That works.
They're building on, they're trying to say, hey, this, like, this character can get to the point of Superman, but we're going to play with that and go, no, she's not that guy yet.
No, I love that contradiction. I thought Millie did a good job. She's likable enough.
She's fine.
Yeah, and she got,
okay.
But they didn't give her the script. They didn't give her nothing. There's no like, think about Wonder Woman and the fucking the trench scene. There was no big memorable scene.
No.
In this movie to make you feel something. So ultimately, at the end, I didn't give a shit about Supergirl or Ruth. Krem, why are you using this villain? This is a one-off villain Tom King created for this fucking story. Like, he has no relationship, no history.
Well, they do that part where she like rises up and she's in her gown or in her Supergirl outfit.
Yeah.
So there were some like decent moments, but yeah, I mean, I agree. Ruggs said it on his Patreon review, and I completely agree with it. So you should listen to that. Where I liked Millie Alcock. I don't think she was bad in the role, but there's no character on here that's like super magnetic.
Yeah,
where you're just like, okay, even though the script is average and the look is terrible.
Yeah,
there's still people that are popping off the screen. You never really get like, you don't get a Thor, you don't get a Chris Hemsworth performance, you don't get a
right.
You don't get a Chris Evans, you don't get a talent, you don't get any of those guys. You don't get a Gal Gadot that pops off the screen.
Even Gal Gadot's stunning, and you can't take your eyes off.
She can't even act. But she embodied the character.
Yes,
right. She embodied the character. She was great to look at, and she just left off the screen, and that's what
is the problem. This version of Supergirl that's cantankerous and doesn't listen.
We've seen the TV show, the WB or whatever, the one that they started on Channel 2, CBS.
Yeah, it was like CW.
Yeah, and she was, attractive. She was like Clark Kent light. She was working at a magazine and all that stuff.
Good Supergirl.
It was cute, whatever. But I do like this idea that she's jaded because she grew up in Krypton. She saw her planet get destroyed.
She saw some shit and should be traumatized, and they didn't. They could have dove into that. That's interesting.
But to go full on into her just being a drunkard and like going to planets to get drunk.
Yeah,
I would. That's just like, it seems like it's too human. It's not a Kryptonian thing. That's a human thing. A Kryptonian probably wouldn't do that. Not only that, but she's got powers. She's got the yellow sun and all that.
Well, she spent time on Earth because she's into like 90s shit, and she's has American like when was that?
I don't know. I think that, as I said, this Tom King story is not the best.
No, I think
that James Gunn wanted her to be this like drunk party girl or whatever.
Yeah.
That kind of like drinks her like or her sorrows away and is irresponsible. I don't know if that would be the case too. I feel like she would probably be on Earth, a place where she's powerful, trying to deal with her past, trying to reconcile what that means. That's an interesting thing to get into.
Yes.
And they tried to do it here, but it's muddled up with all this other, like, I'm a drunkard, I don't care, and this and that, fuck everyone. My planet's been destroyed.
I agree. But both you guys, Anthony and Ruggs, this shouldn't have been the second movie. It's very strange. This wasn't in his plan of, Gods and Monsters, 10 Things. And while picking the book is not a safe choice, it was the wrong choice. And what they did with the book was very safe. After reading the book and watching it, I'm like, this should not have been the first fucking Supergirl story you were telling. This has to come later. You got to establish Supergirl on Earth. Remember, James Gunn said we're not going into production on any movie until the script is rock solid. What the fuck happened here? What can we believe out of this guy's fucking mouth? Because I can't believe he saw the script. And he's like, yeah. Apparently, also, I heard they cut out like 25 minutes of this movie.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if that would help or not.
It was already kind of slow in parts. So.
It's all kind of chopped up.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily dislike the story. I just think it's just bad timing for this movie. Like, I think, as I mentioned earlier, if this movie was released 10 years ago, it would have got lapped up and everyone would have liked it. It's just the wrong time for this movie. This isn't the time to introduce a character that nobody knows and then put it in a storyline that is just mediocre.
Yeah.
And then you add on what was disappointing for me in the film was I really enjoyed the makeup that these characters had. Like there was some very elaborate.
The aliens are cool.
Yeah, the aliens were all very cool. They were like mostly all. It looked like actual people on set. But then you just muddy it by doing this like brown shit overtone on everything, and it's just like, what are you doing there? And then, while I liked Millie Alcock, and I thought she did okay with what she was given. I mean, they basically made her Chris Pratt, Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Right? Like they made her this overgrown teenager that like hasn't really dealt with.
Yep. Irresponsible. She's funny, quippy. She's like, Cream? Oh yeah, that guy Cream?
Right. It's just I don't know. It's just it wasn't it's just I don't think there was anyone that was really anticipating.
Who's the movie for, really?
That is a very good question. I'm not sure.
The only people that are going to like it are men like me that just enjoy superhero movies and are like, okay, I'll take that.
Let's talk about this because people on the internet, people on X are saying that, oh, it's all these men that are hating on this movie. But at the end of the day, if you look at comic books, and I sent this to you guys before the show about comic book superhero audiences, people who collect superhero comics, it's for the longest time since the 1960s was
male dominated,
like 98% male, up until the Marvel movies come out, and basically it becomes pop culture and a trend.
And that doesn't happen until like the 2000s, 2020s, and then it's still only like 40 to 60%, right?
Well, it's
40 to 60%. Imran would be the majority.
Yeah, well, no, 40% women at the most.
40 is the most
that are into superhero comics, and that's because men have left superhero comics. So it's like if men still read them, because the comics have gone so bad that there would be now there's more because since men left, there's more. They make up more of the percentage. But for the longest time, up until it became popular, became a trend, these comics were written for boys to enjoy. So all of the people that have read these comics and all the stuff that are now like in their 40s or 30s or whatever, before this, like the phenomenon of the Marvel Universe came out, of the MCU, like those are the people you want in the theater, and they're over it now.
Yeah.
And so you can't be like, oh, who's going to go? The women aren't going to the theater to see this. Do you think
little girls would enjoy this as to look up to someone?
I'm sure that there's a percentage of that went to the theater, but what kind of a superhero
she's not even a great
young
woman.
Girls to be in. Like, think about what girls liked. They liked K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
Why? There was a romance.
Yeah.
There was about fitting in. Those are things that girls care about, fitting in and romance, right?
Yeah.
And things like that. Cool outfits, looking. All of the K-pop Demon Hunters are very glamorous looking, and and then all of the bad guys are some of them have abs. They're all like got the cool haircuts.
Yeah.
There's none of that in here. There's none of that like that mystique in here that like is interesting to like teenage girls or young girls. It just looks like a boy movie to them. So, it's not, it doesn't have like what the Barbie effect,
right?
That kind of thing. So it
has nothing. The thing comes off flat. The movie has no momentum.
So it's like, it just doesn't know what its audience is. If you're playing to men, and you want men to come, it's got to be a little sexier. It's got to be a little bit more. If you want young girls to come, it's got to be a little more glamorous.
If you notice in this gun universe, all the women heroes are just like murderers. Think about it.
Right.
Hawk Girl dropped that dude. She's like, I'm not Superman. And fucking Supergirl stabs the motherfucker after trying to save Ruth, trying to save her soul. And it's a little bit different than the book. But also, look, I love the aliens, but it did seem a little like third-rate Star Wars, a little bit like the bus scene. Okay, it's a fun scene. You got a lot of aliens. Then these fucking pirates show up, and then they have this. They disappear, blink in and out. Wasn't that exactly the fucking fight scene from the Marvels where they were disappearing and popping up and fighting and jumping around?
We've seen this before.
Didn't we already see this before?
Yeah, we've seen this.
There was I just think to that point, we are in a different point when it comes to superhero movies for the most part, and you have to treat it differently now. Like I kind of like the Clayface thing because at least it's different.
Yes.
But you have to do things like that. Like you can't, if you're going to just keep doing the same stuff, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. And then if you do it with characters that nobody knows, that makes it worse.
That's the problem. Like we were talking about earlier, James Gunn, you can't be picking these fucking random obscure characters. You're trying to build a thing. You need Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. That is the minimum beginning start for the DC universe.
Well, I said this from the beginning when he announced Gods and Monsters, that while I like James Gunn, his choices for certain things and his sensibilities are not what can run an entire universe. He was picking. He did what the that animated show,
Creature Commandos.
Yeah, he was going to do the Authority. He was going to do Booster Gold, and it's like, dude,
weird shit.
I know you like this weird stuff, but this is not going to relaunch the universe.
Do you think this?
You're going to do a Superman movie? People like the Superman movie. We're in the minority.
Yep.
You also still had monkeys typing. I mean, you had weird things, and like you can't go super like straight. Like you can't. His taste isn't for everybody.
I mean, I like Peacemaker, but that's definitely a very James
weird.
Gunn.
That's also James Gunn.
Yeah, very James Gunn.
It's a character that nobody liked.
Yeah.
Nobody knew
you
of.
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want with it, and that's fine. Put your wife in it. Who cares?
The thing is with this movie is it's not even that weird.
No.
So it's just very. Even though it's not a safe pick, it's a very safe movie.
Yeah. Yes. They watered the fuck down. Watered that book down.
They took the formula that Marvel had 20 years ago with Tony Stark, was make the character kind of a fuck up and quippy.
Yep.
And it's been 18 years. Like you need a different angle than fuck up quippy as your main superhero. They just made it a female this time. And we've seen that plenty of times.
And
we've seen females.
Well, it was nice. I think it was a nice way to not make her a Mary Sue.
Yeah.
But I think it was
she was
nice.
Depowered a lot. What did we think of that?
That was fine, but they did it too much.
Yeah.
And like, all right, so if she's depowered and she's got to fight Krem and whatever, but now that means Krem's not that much of a badass. So she needs to be, if she fights somebody full power as Supergirl and is having a tough time, then it's more badass. But whatever, it's fine. Like you have to, with these super powered, ultra omega powered beings, you gotta do something.
Yeah.
But I mean, kryptonite will do it. You don't need anything else besides.
And how did they know about the kryptonite anyways? That was my other question.
Yeah, why is it common knowledge?
How did they don't even know she's Kryptonian. Did they? How did he have that shit already? He did say, I've never tested this on anyone, but on you, it seems to work. But I was like, how the fuck did you even know about this?
You know what I also thought? Again, I liked the movie, so I'm shitting on it because we're on this theme of shitting on it. But while I thought Lobo was okay, I was just like, I think casting Jason Momoa as Lobo, even though he kind of looks like Lobo,
it's stunt casting.
I think it was too soon to recast Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Like I looked at it, I went, this is just Jason Momoa.
Yeah, he's acting the same way he was when he was Aquaman. No difference. He's just doing he has one fucking note.
He just says Bastich, which is Lobo's line.
He gets to say Bastich and see you later, tits. Like, he got a couple of good lines, but completely shoehorned in there. He is not in the original source material. So they just...
He's way more badass in the comics. And
Lobo, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, he blows some shit up and flies off. And that whole bit where she was under the green sun and she's laying there all powerless, I was like, I saw this in Mando and Grogu already. The fuck? Everything in this movie we've already seen in other things.
It seems like a Chat GPT version of Tom King's graphic novel.
It just everything is they do the speed ramp at the end, the slow-mo with that fucking song. And let's just talk about the ending. Ruth the whole time wants to kill Krem because he killed her whole family, which, if the brother wasn't listening to music on his headphones, they may still have been alive. It's his fault. But she's got him there, and Supergirl says it's not going to make the pain go away. Don't do it. And then Ruth leaves, and Kara turns around and just fucking stabs him. It's like,
I don't mind that she does that because he deserves to die. He's a piece of shit, and he's like human trafficker and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that worked. I think that like if it came more like she's trying to protect her innocence and keep her innocent, and that's why. But the guy deserves to die.
Yeah,
it would have. But the way that they did it, it just seemed like she was like, "Oh, I'm going to tell you to do one thing. I'm going to do the opposite.
Do what I say, not what I do."
Well, yeah, and I know what they're trying to do, but it just for some reason in the moment it didn't work. I was like, "What?"
I didn't think it worked because we just didn't get enough of that. Supergirl, one, was a killer, and two, had gone through this like change where she's now like, I'm this person, but I know what it's like to be this type of person, so I can't let that become you as well.
Right.
I don't think that journey was spelled out well enough in the movie.
Not earned enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't work. Something was missing to make that moment play better.
Because you don't even really see Supergirl. I mean, is she killing people throughout the movie? They kind of like, if she is, they don't really focus. Like, it's not something they're focused. Like, there's not enough of a emphasis on the fact that she's this ruthless killer throughout the movie.
She fights everyone in the bar, but it's like in the background. She fights on the bus. You don't really see her killing anyone.
Did you catch how, like, in the trailer when she's talking about how Superman sees the good in everybody and she sees the truth?
Yeah. It's like, so different in the movie.
She just mumbles it.
She throws away the whole line. That's such an important thing in the trailer. That was like the crux of it. She just throws away this line. I was like, that's the actual take you're using for this?
I missed it.
Didn't make sense. She just fucking says it real quick and moves on. When there should have been a little bit more of a pause.
There was one quick line and they gloss over it. They just say it and they never acknowledge it. She's like, why is he Superman and you're Supergirl? And there's never like a retort to that. Yeah. They just ask the question and move on.
Yeah. So they start to touch on interesting things and never do anything with it.
Here, I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
I saw this as a headline on one of my favorite shows. I didn't watch it. Or I didn't listen to it. It's the rewatch. Not the rewatch. Was the Big Picture.
Yeah.
And the headline that they were talking about, it was clipped, was this is officially the end of superhero movies. It's over.
You know what's crazy is, did you see the Variety review? They called the movie super horrendous in the headline. The fucking headline, Variety. Jesus.
Until Spider-Man comes out. Then all of a sudden everyone's going to love superheroes.
Oh, they're going to be, Then
I think there's still, there's going to be characters. I think the point there is there's still going to be characters and franchises that work.
Yeah.
Similar to like a Dune or like anything like.
But they got to be big names.
They're like Sword and Sandal movies. There's still some that work. There's still some Westerns that work.
Yeah.
But the superhero genre as a whole is like that dead. Where it's like not everything is going to work anymore. No. Most of it's going to be shitty.
No, yeah.
And you need to completely figure it out and change.
You're right. Though, like 10, 15 years ago, you could do these little side movies and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
I think they got to stop.
You can't do that anymore.
I think they got to stop trying to aim at these niche markets.
Yeah.
And just go for the big thing that everybody used to love.
Yes.
Like the big, broad. Make it big, make it broad.
Let's go. Tom Brittany is Batman. Let's go, Gunn. Give us the fucking Batman. Do you think Gunn survives this? He's going to take the hit for this.
No.
It's going to flop.
I feel like maybe Wonder Woman, but I don't even know if he could even pull off a Wonder Woman movie because.
With the same writer? This movie? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think he's gone by 2028. I think he leaves on his own. I don't think he wants to work.
I don't think DC can survive another reboot.
But I don't think he wants to work with the Ellisons and their fucking political leanings and whatever bullshit they're going to ask of him. He's not going to.
Well, that's going to be his good exit strategy. That he doesn't. Well, the story's not that he's a complete failure.
Yeah. He will use that. He will use that as an exit, and I bet he's not around in 2 years.
Well, the movies that are coming up are Clayface.
Which will be mildly entertaining, probably.
Different.
That might be interesting.
It could be good.
Man of Tomorrow has a release date.
Yep.
And then there's these other movies that have writers and directors. Some don't have anything. Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing, and then Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, that's years away.
And then they've got Lanterns coming out.
Oh, and Lanterns, I'm hoping it'll be good. I know Supergirl is going to be in Man of Tomorrow, so we'll see more of her. Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to list off a bunch of female-led superhero movies, and you tell me where this movie lands. Okay?
Like, is it better or worse?
Yeah. And this is kind of interesting. As shitty as this movie is, this is where we are. So, starting with 1984 Supergirl, Catwoman, 2004.
Wait. Are we doing it one by one, or are we just ranking?
I'm just going to read you the list real quick, just so you can get a sense of where we're at with female-led superhero movies. Supergirl, 1984, Catwoman, Halle Berry, Elektra from 2005. They put Kick-Ass in this because of Hit Girl.
No, that's not. That doesn't count.
Wonder Woman, 2017, Captain Marvel, 2019, Birds of Prey, 2020. They put the New Mutants in this. There's a lot of women. It's more of an ensemble. Wonder Woman, 1984, Black Widow, 2021, The Marvels, 2023, Madam Web, 2024, and Supergirl, 2026.
I already know where mine's at.
And I will say, as much as this movie does not work for me, I couldn't fuck with it. This may be the second best movie on this list.
But that's the thing you don't really notice is that the drop off from Wonder Woman 1 to all of these other movies is so big.
Yes.
It's like a 3-point drop.
Absolutely.
It's like
where do you go? What are you doing, Anthony?
I got as high as third.
Okay. What's number 2?
I might go Captain Marvel. I might go Black Widow.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see Captain Marvel, and I can see a little Black Widow. Yeah.
But they're not good. No, I mean, as bad. But here's the thing: there's been a lot of bad female-led superhero movies. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Yeah,
maybe it's Ruggs' point where they're just making them they're not making them good enough for women or men.
Right.
That'd be interesting to look at and reanalyze all these these videos or movies. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. This movie's not bad. It's just come out at a horrible time.
Yeah. The timing is weird. The fact that it's the second movie is weird.
Wait, what about you, Ruggs? What do you think where it's at amongst all those movies?
I think that it's tied for second with Captain Marvel and Black Widow.
Yeah.
And all the other ones are a lot worse.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because of the fact that they don't?
I think that Zack Snyder understood the assignment.
Yeah, but how do you go from Wonder Woman 2017 to fucking Wonder Woman 1984? 3 years later, probably the worst fucking movie on this list.
Well, because, whatever. At that point, like, Snyder was not involved anymore.
No, he wasn't.
Well, what I'm getting at is, why are female superhero movies so bad?
They don't play well. I don't know.
Is it because of what you said, that they're making them for the wrong audiences on either side?
They're making them for an audience that's not really there for them.
And some of these have female directors and writers.
Yeah.
And that's
also maybe. Yeah. I'm not saying that's the reason, but I mean, there's things that they've been trying to do and it hasn't worked.
So like a man can do it, a woman can't do it. I don't know who can do it.
Let's just see. Like, if you're going on the idea that most of the comic book superhero genre is men like watching it, collecting it, doing this and doing that. And then you make a movie and they go and see it, but it just seems like to be bashing that all the time. And it's cute a few times, but all of a sudden it's just like, now this one didn't do that.
That did not.
No, that's true.
But the rep that everybody has now set up was that. So it's kind of like now it's got a stigma that has nothing to do with it. It's kind of like
it's weird.
The genre has kind of poisoned itself.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I feel like if we can get back to Wonder Woman, where it's a story where she was in love with a guy, she was a fish out of water. She had to learn about. There's a lot of cute stuff in there for a lot of different people. Very broad. If we can get back to a broad movie about broads,
it's too
then
niche-y.
we got something.
Well, also Wonder Woman, amongst all those other things, you could clearly define her character. I mean, she was the fish out of water, but she was also someone that always did what she had a very strong moral set and very strong boundaries of doing, like, okay, I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. And a lot of these other female-led superhero movies, it's just very undefined as far as like what their character is, who they are. Like, the only ones we really know about besides her are Black Widow. It's kind of Captain Marvel, but even Captain Marvel is tough.
Yeah.
We don't really know what her character is.
Let's just look at the big three male superheroes: Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman.
We know
Spider-Man. You know Peter Parker's moral compass right off the bat.
Yep.
Uncle Ben dies, blah, blah, blah. His whole life is guilt ridden. He has to step in. He has to save people.
Right.
Batman has a tragedy happen to him. He wants to stop crime from taking Gotham. You know what? He's going to do everything that he has to do to stop crime. Superman has this feeling from his dad that was given to him through his parents, Earth, to be a good person. So he just tries to do that. So very simple. Any idiot can understand it. Yeah. It's very simple. When you get into these anti-heroes and this and that, they all kind of start to become, not as heroic. Right. When you want to be like, hey, I want you to be like this little kid. Follow what this, it's not a good role model.
Well, that's so. What's the message? The message is kill when people deserve to get killed. You should kill.
Well, I like heroes that kill, like the Punisher and stuff like that, but that's not for kids. He's not trying to make that. That's a niche thing, right?
Should Supergirl have the same philosophy as the Punisher? Is a good question.
This is Supergirl. Yes. This is not like Black Widow, which is kind of a sketchy character. Right. This is Supergirl. You have the S from Krypton. You have the we wear the good guys colors,
Yep.
And she's got this kind of, sketchy, murky kind of moral code.
But now maybe the next time we see her, maybe she's more moral, more.
Well, you got to be at the end of this movie. You got to know what she's about.
Yeah,
at the end of the movie, she stabs a guy in the neck.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, still.
Yeah.
She started the movie with stabbing the guys in the neck, and at the end of the movie, she doesn't want to stab anybody in the neck. That's a different growth pattern there.
Can I just mention, so the whole crypto thing, how they dragged it on with the antidote, blah, blah, blah. In the book, it's a non-issue because he does get hit the same way. But Kara lies to Ruth for the rest of the story, telling her it's about crypto because she wanted to see Ruth, what Ruth was going to do, how she's going to grow, what was she going to create. And at the end, you find out. She goes, oh, no, crypto's fine. I took her to a doctor. He's great. We don't got to worry about him.
So in the comic, there never was an antidote or anything like that?
There was. She did have to find him for this antidote or to save crypto, but it was a lie to follow Ruthie. And then the ending of the book, let me tell you the ending of the book. It's crazy because they're both Superman and Ruth cannot kill Krem. They both have a moment where they have the knife to the neck and they can't do it. So what ends up happening, because the book is told from the point of view of Ruth as she's old. She wrote a book about this incident, so she's remembering all this, right? So at the end, they actually send Krem to the Phantom Zone. The very end of the book picks up hundreds of years later. Ruth is really old. Supergirl is there visiting, and she has Krem in the Phantom Zone. He's been in there 300 years. He's had time to think about what she does. She releases him, and he's this old decrepit man, and he's like, thank you for saving me. I understand what I did wrong. And the last page is crazy because Ruth is narrating. They're all standing there. Ruth narrates what happens in the movie. She's like, Supergirl grabbed the sword, turned around, and killed Krem and walked away. But what the art is showing you in silhouette is actually old Ruth gets the kill. She killed Krem after him being imprisoned for 300 years in the Phantom Zone. She still wanted that revenge, gets her satisfaction. But the story she ends up telling is telling everyone Supergirl did it. And I don't think the writer of this movie got the ending. In fact, there's articles where the director and the writer were like, we kind of misunderstood the ending of the book.
Well, it's an interesting ending.
It is. It was very crazy.
You kind of went on a tangent there, which I don't mind. What I was going to get at is I also thought it was just very silly that this guy Krem's carrying the antidote as a necklace the entire
movie.
movie.
It's just hanging there the whole time.
Who does that?
Yes. How about you tuck it underneath or put it somewhere secure?
Who carries an antidote?
Yeah, well, you got arrows in case you shoot yourself.
What would you do? Yeah, well, I guess.
Why do you even have the antidote? He uses it to torture people, they said. But in the book, the crypto thing is a non-issue. She just used it as a lie to get Ruth to fucking go with her.
Well, that would have been also... I don't know how you adapt that into a first Supergirl movie. That also would have been very odd.
Yes.
If this would have been a narrated movie from the girl's point of view, and then it ends with the girl killing, like that's not a universe building movie.
No, which is why I was like, I don't think they should have picked this story. It's a great story. It's beautifully illustrated. This is not a good idea to do right now.
No.
It's not the time. Okay.
This is the type of movie you release as an animated movie on DC and you do it as a one-off.
Like they're doing with Nightfall, right? Like you could do that. Okay, wait. 2 more comparisons. Best person to play Supergirl. Helen Slater, 1984. Laura Vandervoort played her on Smallville, early 2000s. Then you have Melissa Benoist from Supergirl. Sasha Calle from The Flash. Millie Alcock. I feel like they've all, like it's a little unfair for Melissa Benoist because she's got more material. Does anybody have a favorite? Ruggs?
I don't know. I mean, acting wise, I think Millie Alcock did the greatest acting job.
Yeah.
But as far as embodying the character, like we talked about Gal Gadot, how she can't act worth shit, but she embodies Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like she embodies it the least. Even Sasha Calle, who doesn't look anything like Supergirl.
Right.
She really leapt off the screen and was very memorable.
Yeah.
And that outfit was crazy that she was wearing.
Yeah.
But so I think Millie Alcock is probably the least memorable as Supergirl.
Yeah. Anthony, would you have an answer?
I haven't seen the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Melissa Benoist. I mean, Melissa Benoist is just doing Clark Kent, right? So
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
That girl in the middle, Sasha or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't
Sasha
remember
Calle.
her at all.
She was in the, remember the end? She was in The Flash.
No, I know. Don't remember her.
Don't remember. Okay. Not memorable.
Millie Alcock's got like at least an interesting take on it.
Yeah.
I feel like she was more alluring and interesting in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll just say this about Millie Alcock.
Yeah.
And she's gotten a lot of criticism. Some people really said she's like not a great. I think she looks fine. I think she looks.
Yeah.
I would totally not. I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating cookies.
For eating cookies again.
Oh, no one's saying that.
Yeah,
I just think that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you said it.
Seem like Supergirl.
I'm not saying you said it. I'm saying there's a lot of shit online about people being like, she's ugly. She's a terrible.
Well, I did a whole rant about her. She's fine. But
I mean, unfortunately, the script does not do many favors. Out of all these, I'm going to say Melissa Benoist is, I think, my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, you had a lot of time with her.
We had a lot of time with her. She was really good. She's very attractive. Helen Slater, also super hot for 1984 Supergirl.
Absolutely. And Laura Vandervoort, not bad either.
Yeah.
So if you put them all up, Millie Alcock is, as far as just the embodiment of the characters, probably the weaker one.
Okay, one more question and we'll get to the Frank Grillo meter. If out of these 4 movies, gun to your head, you had to rewatch one of them, which one are you picking?
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 2, Star Wars Mandalorian Grogu, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, or Supergirl? All recent movies, all kind of similar. Already. Yeah?
Because I've watched He-Man already a couple times.
Yeah.
Since I watched it.
I was going to say, I look at this list, I'll fucking watch Masters of the Universe over any of these movies. Sorry.
Yeah,
Anthony?
I'd say Masters of the Universe over this.
It edges it out. Supergirl isn't like far below it, but
it's 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, would be sick.
Master Universe has just. It's just got a little. It's like the girl.
Yeah,
the jokes, and then just seeing fucking what's his name, Skeletor. Those dream scenes where he's wearing regular human outfits.
Yes, he's in the office and he's in the gym.
And you can see everything that's happening.
You could see everything. You could see the action. They got the tone right. It's a lot of fun. It's funny. It's memorable. This Supergirl is not fucking memorable. Where does Frank Grillo go? He will improve his picture.
Creme. He's got to be Creme.
Oh, yeah, Creme. Yeah, he could do Creme.
Lobo?
He could be Lobo. Would be kind of fun.
The problem with casting Frank Grillo is that he's already a Rick Flag Senior.
Oh shit, that's right. You can't.
He's
put
already
him in,
in the universe.
I'm surprised that Rick Flag didn't show up in this movie somehow. Just shoehorn him into everything.
Rick Flag Senior.
I forgot he is already in the universe.
So,
but if he wasn't, he'd be a fun Lobo. Okay. Anyways, final thoughts, Anthony. Give me a number.
6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I just had a 7 when I walked out of the theater.
Yeah.
As a recommend.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. I like the movie. But I like the movie. I just don't think it's the right movie to have released as the second movie in James Gunn's DCU.
Like if I was on the thermometer, I would give this a tomato. like not a splattered tomato.
Oh, but you'd have it. You'd give it fresh.
Yeah, I would give it a fresh.
Well, okay. What would your score be?
On my score, because it's over a 5. It's a 6 for me, so it would get the fresh.
I'm at like a 5.56 around there.
5.56.
Yeah.
A 5.5 or a 6 or
You know
5.56.
I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
I'll give it a 6.
Is Supergirl? Here's a real question: is Supergirl better than Disclosure Day? And I'm going to answer it. It is.
Oh shit! You're telling me this shit is better than a Spielberg movie?
I like
you
it
may
better
be
than
right.
Disclosure Day.
Oh, you may be right.
It's really close.
It makes more sense than Disclosure.
It's really
oh shit! Poor Steven Spielberg. What happened?